Tonight, we're going to be taking my best ever picture of the planet Mars. What up, y'all? It's Ty's Astrophotography. And today, we are going to be taking my best picture of the planet Mars. I took a picture of this same planet 4 years ago when it was at opposition back then. And yeah, it's not great at all. I did not have this equipment. But now I had the equipment, and it's now the best time to see it. So we're gonna see how well we can do with this equipment and see how well that I have improved as an astrophotographer. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but I know I'm gonna do my best, and I just pray and hope that this atmosphere can be a little less wobbly tonight so we can get a great picture. One big thing about where I'm shooting though is that it is as cold as shit. And I might actually freeze off my fingers tonight because it's going to be 11 degrees when I take my picture. But that won't stop me, but hopefully I don't lose any toes or anything. Another problem is, as you can see behind me, there's a house behind me, and Mars will rise from the east. So I'm gonna have to move this over to the front, but that's not that big of an issue. I'm more or less concerned with the cold, and I'm already out here in like 18,000 layers, and I'm already very cold right now. So, you know, hopefully I don't freeze anything. But the good news for the cold though is that the atmosphere is gonna be less crazy, and we're gonna have a more clear view of the planet Mars, as well as basically anything else in the atmosphere. It's why it's one of the best times to go out and shoot your objects. As I've said in the previous video, planetary astrophotography requires huge telescopes. So I've brought out some of my best equipment to help me take a picture of the planet Mars. So for my optical tube, I have gone for the Nexstar 8SE optical tube. This one came when I bought a telescope in 2022, and it's the best one that I've had for planetary photography, just because it can get so close and has that 8-inch diameter mirror. Another one of the most important equipments is my mount. This is the Advanced VX mount. Now, this is definitely one of my favorite mounts. It works well for deep sky as well as planetary, but doesn't really fall apart, and you know, it stays consistent, so that's why I love this mount so much. For the planetary camera, once again, I use an all reliable, the ZWO ASI 120 MC camera. Now, it's really good for beginners as well as intermediates. Probably gotta get a new camera pretty soon, but it works really well for what it does, and I'm so happy that the best picture of Mars I've ever had. It's currently 8:45 p.m. right now, and we gotta move everything back to the front because obviously Mars is right over there, but it's very, very cold. It's like, let me check quick. It's 19 degrees right now. It is freezing cold right now, but I'm gonna move all the stuff up to the front, and hopefully we can take a good picture of Mars tonight. Let's go. Now that we have set up all the equipment, we can start taking pictures of the planets. So I have a couple things I like to do. Number one, I like to bring out something that I like to call a regular eyepiece. And I use this regular eyepiece just so I can get a view with my eyes, because it's always amazing to see the planets raw with your eyes. Another thing I like to bring to the table is a Barlow lens. These allow us to zoom in really, really close on our planet, and it just looks great every single time. Once the scope is done and I have aligned everything, I usually, after all the eyepiece stuff, all that stuff, what I do is I connect my camera to the back of the telescope right here and then plug it in my computer. I load up a program called Firecapture, which is the best program I've used. It is literally the best. And it'll take a 3-minute long video to capture 4,000 frames of the planet Mars, so we can get the most detail out of the little planet. And once I have that, I stack all my pictures, sharpen them, and then that's how I get my final product. So, let's do it. is. There's Mars. Telescope found it. Look at that. Let's get it centered and focus up. Look at that. Holy crap. It looks so pretty. It looks really, really good. Let's take a video and call it a night.